This is a lesson on the study of matrices as we do an introduction, getting you ready to use matrices in solving a system of equations. So let me explain to you what we mean by a matrix. A matrix is a series of numbers organized in rows and columns. And then we put brackets to begin and end to show that this is a matrix. This matrix has two rows, row 1 and row 2, and it has three columns. Column 1, column 2, column 3. So here we have a matrix. It's written with rows and columns. Each number inside is called an element, and the element is identified by its location. For instance, 5 would be element 1, 1, because it's in row 1, column 1. 2 would be element row 1, column 3. So it'd be element 1, 3. If I were to say what's element 2, 2, this would be second row, second column. Row 2, column 2, that would be the number 2. Notice in this particular matrix, there is no E, say 3, 5. Because our matrix does not have 3 rows and it doesn't have 5 columns. So the subscripts can only be within the rows and columns of a matrix. So that's what a matrix is. There are several kinds of matrices, but before we get to that, let's talk about the shape of a matrix. Shape. Matrices can be long. This matrix has 1 row. Okay? And so it has elements like 1, 3 would be 3. Element 1, 4 is 4, because I put them in order. So this is called a row matrix, and its dimensions, dimensions are 1 by 5, 1 row by 5 columns. This matrix is called a square matrix because the number of rows and the number of columns are the same. This is 2 by 2. This is a row matrix because it has only 1 row. We'll look at some other sizes. This is called a column matrix because it has many rows but only 1 column. So 1 column. And element 4, 1 would be 6 because that's row 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and column 1. Its dimensions are 4 by 1. 4 rows by 1 column. And you could have a matrix like this: 2, 1, 3, 6, 2, 1, 4, 8, 9. That would be 3 by 3, a square matrix. And so this would be 2 rows and 4 columns. So in math, this would be our 2x4s. 2x4 matrix dimensions. Let's give you a short quiz to see if you can remember elements and dimensions. Here is a matrix. And here are some elements I want you to look for. See if you can figure out what number is each element. Okay, now let's see how well you did. Element 1, 3 would be first row, third column, so that's 6. Element 2, 2 would be second row, second column, so that would be -3. And element 2, 3 would be second row, third column, which would be 0. If you got those, you have an idea of the elements. Now let's see a short quiz on dimensions, just to see if you can figure them out. I'm going to put several up here. All right, what would be the dimension of each of these matrices? Take time to see if you can figure it out. Hit pause if you need to. Okay? This one would have 1 row and 4 columns. So this would be a 1x4. This one would have 3 rows and 2 columns, 3x2. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows and 1, 2, 3 columns. So this is a description of what a matrix is and the terminology we use to describe them, and this will at least get you started so you'll know what we're talking about.